but it doesn't work. Yeah, Corrective Morphs, Smart Scanning in LightWave doesn't work. So why? Well, take this one for example, this model. This model has bones that deform the body. So if you look at the chest here, this area here, and I click that off, you'll see that it actually deforms the character as well, and that's problematic. That's one of the reasons why SoftFX and the morphs do not work on this object. Also, it's not using weights or weight maps. So whenever I turn off all of these bones and just focus on these guys, this bone and that bone will actually influence the rest of the character, because that's how bones work. So the only way to make that, or to correct that, is to make a bone here and make the whole body basically use a weight map for that bone, and this bone create a weight map here, and that bone create a weight map here and here. Just time consuming. No, I don't want to do that. So yeah, and I can't recall now if also I need to, well, this is set to last, by the way, so division order last. I can't recall now if I have to turn this off. I did check that though. Doesn't seem to make too much of a change, but I have turned that off, and that's not really the main problem anyway. So yeah, unfortunately this SoftFX trick only works in if you're lucky, in very few cases. So, but you know, I thought I'd show you anyway. Maybe I'm lucky and you will tell me, hey, you're completely wrong. But anyway, I don't think so. So, new techniques to fix this. Okay, so what to do? So we added this one, went to frame 29, that's where I have this pin. Operator, important to turn that off or set that to none, so we don't get this jiggle. EditFX, edit tool will not work before you click calculate. And it will calculate, we'll stop that calculation on frame 29. If I had this bend on frame 5, I didn't need to calculate. I wouldn't have to calculate that for that long, but it's fine. SoftFX is fast anyway. So I go here, EditFX, and say something like 0.08 maybe. So you'll see that that's the size. I'll lock it to the Y channel this time and just move that up. You'll see, if I undo now, you can see the change. By the way, how I zoomed in on various parts here of this model was that I just locked it like that, and then I can zoom in and out and do whatever. And it's a nice way to zoom in on areas. And of course you can just turn that off and keep on working on this model. Oops, that was wrong. Objects, EditFX, let's say something like that. Now I'm selecting it, and that's kind of like tricky. Now I'm selecting something in the background. I didn't choose a foreground point, so that's problematic. So you'll have to click undo. If you make a mistake here, there's only one undo. Do not click Control Z, by the way. It's undoing scene, not these edits, so don't do that. But you only got one undo redo, so if you make a mistake, you have to recalculate and do everything over again. Usually works out okay though, if you're careful enough. Come on. You can also turn this on and off to see the change. So okay, something like that maybe. So that's pretty good. That's very good. The problem is I can't use this because of what I told you earlier about the bone not being tied, this bone not being tied to weight map, and that bone not being tied to weight map. I could export or delete all the other bones. In this case, LightWave crashes, running 11.6 here, but yeah, it's just a drag anyway. So I could create 2 new bones here, or copy the bones or whatever. It could have worked, and then create weight maps, but it's just a drag. But anyway, let's just have a look at how this works. So you can see that's quite a lot better, right? Much better. Unfortunately, I can't use it. But anyway, let's pretend that we could use it. And what I would do is I would scrub from frame 29 to frame 0. And you'll see that Eno from D-Storm, who made SoftFX, HardFX, ClothFX, I'm sure he thought about this when he created EditFX, that he could use this for smart skinning. So it keeps this deformation, and I can save that now. So at frame 0, I'll say save object, save the endomorph, save it. And you think everything is okay, but it's not. I don't know why that is. Because even though I saved the endomorph, it didn't save it to the object, which is, I don't really get that. Why didn't it save it to the object? You'll have to first save this one and then save the object. Doesn't make sense to me, but anyway. And that's that. So now that change should be visible on the model. But again, so that's, you can see here how that has taken effect, especially in this area, probably also in this slightly. But the problem is it also saved out bone tweaks and all that stuff. So you can see here, it kind of looks a bit shocked now. So also this area here shouldn't be like that. It should be, all of this should have been very, very close to the base. Now you would think that you could take this one, take this stuff here, and just say, and delete that other deformation. You could do that, but it's still not going to do this, the correct thing, unfortunately. So yeah. So the best thing you could do, I don't know, would that be? It's difficult to say. Maybe I could use that as a reference, but I don't know. Saving this to an object, this endomorph to an object and using it for reference, it just seems clumsy. And even heat shrink wouldn't be able to fix this obstacle. So it doesn't work. But unless you have, well, I don't know. Unless you know something, I don't know. It's very unfortunate. It's almost there, but not. So I saw this. So this is a preview on Corrective Morph in LightWave. Not working. Muscle simulation would have eliminated some of these obstacles. But still, even with some muscle simulation, you might very likely want to tweak stuff here later on. Yeah. I have shown other videos on how to kind of like combine modeler and layout though to when creating corrective morphs. So yeah, too bad. It doesn't work.